Hooks are similar to skirt hooks and bars, but come in other sizes and have the option of an eye instead of a bar. The eye is useful in situations where the edges of a garment are going to meet instead of overlap. This is a hook. This is the back side of the hook that goes against the fabric. This is an eye. Sew on the hook with a double thread of ceramide with a knot at the end. Place the hook with the folded edge towards the folded edge of the fabric, centered on the top left-hand tick mark. The folded edge of the hook should be just inside the folded edge of the fabric. Push the needle down through the fabric inside one of the loops. Pull until the knot catches. Push the needle up through the fabric on the outside of the loop. Pull until the thread is taut. Push the needle back down on the inside of the loop. Continue to sew around the loop in this manner. Move over slightly with each new stitch. It should take 5 or 6 stitches to travel all the way around the loop. Check that it is neat on both sides. Watch for loops of thread or uneven stitches. Once you have finished sewing around the first loop, move over and begin sewing in the same manner around the second loop. When you have finished sewing around the second loop, push the needle underneath just one layer of fabric and come up beside the hook near the top end. Place the thread over only the back layer of the hook and push the needle down on the other side of the hook. Be sure that the thread is between the top and bottom layers of the hook. If the thread is sewn over both layers, this will prevent the hook from working. Continue to sew around the back layer of the hook 3 or 4 times. This keeps the hook flat against the fabric, helping the hook keep the garment completely closed. When you have finished sewing down the top of your hook, push your needle back up to the hook side of the fabric and tie a knot. Make a circle with the thread, wrap the thread around the needle twice, pull the thread until the needle is snug against the fabric. Place your thumb on the thread loops to hold it in place. Pull the needle through until the knot is tight. Repeat a second time. Push the needle under the first layer of fabric and come back up 1/8 of an inch away. Clip your thread flush with the fabric. The hook is finished and you are ready to move on to the eye. Center the eye on the left-hand tick mark. The loop should face the bottom edge of the fabric. Often an eye would be sewn with the loop hanging over the edge of the fabric to allow the edges to meet but not overlap. For the purposes of this project, place the loop just inside the bottom edge. With a double thread, push the needle down through the fabric inside one of the loops. Pull until the knot catches. Push the needle up through the fabric on the outside of the loop. Pull until the thread is taut and push the needle back through the fabric on the inside of the loop. Continue to sew around the loop in this manner, moving over slightly with each stitch, just as you sewed the loops for the hook. When you have completed sewing the loops, push your needle back up through on one side of the waist of the eye. Sew around the waist of the eye 3 or 4 times. When you have finished sewing around the waist of the snap, push your needle back up to the eye side of the fabric and tie a knot. Make a circle with the thread, wrap the thread around the needle twice, pull the thread until the needle is snug against the fabric. Place your thumb on the thread loops to hold it in place. Pull the needle through until the knot is tight. Repeat a second time. Push your needle through the first layer of fabric and come up about 1/8 of an inch away. Clip your thread flush with the fabric. Check that your hook and eye fit nicely together and are both sewn snugly and securely to the fabric. You have completed the hooks and eyes and are ready to move on to buttons.